Sounds like a tractor.
Yep, we got issues. Yep, we got issues.
Only 2 cylinders. Other 4 are fine.
Oh dear.
It's not good.
Jacob and the Hornét in Flying Sparks Garage.
If you guys don't know Jacob Davis, that's Jacob Davis. He is a buddy of ours ever since I started the YouTube channel. We became Instagram friends, and then we officially met on Power Tour 2016?
Yeah, 2016.
2016.
With this car.
Yeah, he was in the Hornet or the Hornet, and I was in Roxy, and Aaron and I had finished the car the previous year, but we hadn't met that year. Was that your first Power Tour?
I did a couple stops in 2015, and then I was hooked. And then
Okay.
2016 was the first long haul.
So the story with this car and Jake is really quite awesome. He got the opportunity to be on a Roadkill episode, and it was a really fun deal because he flew into California and picked up this car off Craigslist and showed up with this piece of junk to the
'Cause that
Roadkill
makes
shoot.
total sense. Farber actually
And-
named it. He
Oh,
was in
he
the
did?
passenger seat, and I was like, I gotta name it before I drive it from California back to Georgia. And he's literally sitting in the passenger seat, and I'm like, it's a Green Hornet, but you can't call it the Green Hornet. And he's looking at the dash, and it says Hornet on the dash. And he goes, just put an accent mark over the E and call it the Hornet, because it's fancy, it's so nice inside.
That's freaking funny.
Having him in the passenger seat saying mint was the weirdest thing for me as a fan, because I was like,
What?
it's real. It's a real thing.
That is funny. It actually is pretty nice inside.
Pretty luxurious.
That's hilarious. Well, that's a cool fun fact.
Yeah.
So after that, he became friends with the guys, and he's a Georgia boy, so living close to Finnegan, he ended up at Finnegan's house a lot, and they actually did a ton of work. If you've watched Finnegan's Garage, there's lots of awesome episodes on this car on his channel, and they're just great friends of ours, and much thanks to them for the inspiration and mentorship through our growing in this industry, because Jake's done a ton of work. He moved to California and worked for Hot Rod, and now he's headed home and he's gonna start a new adventure, and we're really excited for him. He's crazy and left Hot Rod, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? But he's gotta follow his heart. So he's had a lot of really, really cool adventures in this car, and I have a feeling they've just begun, right?
Yeah, we got a lot of new adventures coming. This thing, what's funny is everybody thought this was the build. So let me walk you through just real quick what we
Yes.
got. The important part of any car is obviously under the hood. This is a little different. This is an AMC inline 6, 258 cubic inch, so it's basically the same as a Jeep motor. Rather than pulling it out and putting something in, I wanted to see kind of what you could do with an inline 6. So I actually pulled the thing out and I was doing a dingle ball rebuild on it, like literally just junk in my garage, as cheap as you could do it. And me and Finnegan came up with the idea of, I wonder how much nitrous that thing could take. And that's where things got a little crazy. So it snowballed. So we put a cam in it, we put Clifford Performance intake and exhaust on it, we put a Holley 4-barrel, it's got MSD ignition with a programmable timing curve in it, it's got the real kicker is the direct port injection nitrous system. So we're spraying fuel and nitrous directly into each cylinder, which is kind of some race car stuff on garbage. And what's funny is I fully expected it to blow up. I gave it as much of a chance as I could and not blowing up. And this was really my first foray into nitrous. But Mike, he's jet boat raced and he's done nitrous forever. So he was walking me through how all this works, and it was a huge learning experience. And I fully expected it to blow up the first time I hit the button. Well, it's had about 5 full bottles of nitrous through it now. It won the Hot Rod Power Tour Burnout Contest in 2017 with 1 tire and about 12 hits of nitrous. Still didn't blow up. And that was in the middle of a 7,500-mile road trip. So this car has been on road trips like you wouldn't believe. This thing has been coast to coast 6 times. This is the 7th cross-country trip. It has been to 38 states. I have been to more national parks than I can ever count. 2 long hauls of Hot Rod Power Tour where I drove it there and back too. Done a proper cannonball run from New York to LA in under 37 hours. It's been to every roadkill event over the last 4 years. It's been to Woodward Avenue for the Dream Cruise. I just keep taking it places and doing stuff with it to hang out with the important people that I've met in this industry who have influenced this entire car. And it's hurt. We're gonna do a little bit of work to it to fix it, but it is going to make it to Georgia on this engine. And then we're gonna put something really special under the hood, so you're gonna have to stay tuned on that one.
If you haven't watched the episode where we went and picked up the 72 Nova that JZR Motorsports bought, that was a really, really fun episode where we got to adventure, and I rode right seat in the Hornet, and we just had a blast, and we did donuts in the dirt, and just had a ball, and have so many memories to look back on. And that's what hot rodding is all about, for us at least. Friendship and adventures and memories. So what do you say we make some more and wrench on this thing?
What do you think?
It's a dandy.
By dandy, you mean it's permanently rust prevented everywhere on the entire bottom of the car, even the gas tank.
It's a mess.
It's really good.
It's a mess. One header bolt, or one
out
header
of
flange.
6. And then I added one in the parking lot and didn't even check the others because I was like, well, I'll hold it until I get there. So now there's only 2 out of 6, and that would explain why it sounds like a freaking tractor. It actually blew molten aluminum, which these are aluminum collector flanges, or collector gaskets. It actually blew aluminum out onto the crossmember. It got a little hot. The only time that's happened is when I was making a nitrous pull. This was naturally aspirated driving down the freeway. Yeah, I'm not nice to this thing. It's a good car though.
Look at all of the
That's engine oil back here at the transmission.
I mean, the whole underside of the car is like...
I could drive it on the saltiest road on earth and it would not matter.
No. Oh my god, dude. There's a rock lodged between the pan and the freaking scatter shield of the transmission.
Yeah, most people don't know this, but this car has probably done about 300 to 400 miles of like actual proper off-roading, and I don't mean just gravel roads. I mean like dragging the crossmember through sand. That's probably where that came from. That's hilarious. And look, it's covered in oil, of course.
All right, it's loose. Oh wow.
Yeah, that's not good.
Weird. Really?
So yeah, these are really good exhaust gaskets, and I've done this multiple times. Seems like you would learn, but no. So that's what it's supposed to look like. That's a good one.
Ish. That one's kind of melted though.
It's a little melted, it's getting there, but this guy gave up. This is what a quitter looks like. Don't be a quitter.
So explain why this is happening.
It's stupid, but I run this thing really lean. Like I cruise at about 16.5, 17 to 1 on an AFR gauge, which is properly lean. And especially in an old car with cast pistons, but you get really good fuel mileage. On the trip with you guys in the Nova going 65, I got 26 miles to the gallon in this car. So, doing exhaust gaskets every once in a while, it's a lot better than buying that much fuel. So, I drive it around really lean.
The amount that he drives, that I assume that would
But obviously,
save a lot of money.
Obviously it started to wear on stuff because cylinder number 2 and 6, the exhaust valves have apparently quit. They're like, screw you, I'm not moving. Yeah, it might make it to Georgia. We'll see. But that's not good. That shouldn't happen. So these really nice aluminum gaskets that I use because they're thick and they can handle if this flange warps and everything. Yeah, obviously they're junk now. So I've had these in the back of the car for, I don't know, 3 years. So we're going Mr. Gasket, you know, just kind of a fiber metal combination. It should make it to Georgia.
Your gasket's going in, dude.
For something to fail, this has been one of the easiest things possible.
Absolutely. This is a joy.
Except for all the oil and everything. But I think, like I said, the exhaust has cooked off most of the oil in that area.
Yeah.
So it's actually not bad.
Exactly.
It's kind of a tricky fit.
One time, it is. I think one time when you stopped here and you were working on something, I changed the oil in this car, didn't I?
You did, and it was full of bearing material.
It's quite
And
sparkly.
it's still the same engine with nothing done to it.
This bag full.
What's nice is I don't have to change the oil anymore. I just keep adding more.
Exactly. Just keep adding as
It's a permanent cyclical thing it's doing.
spits it out all over the undercarriage.
Did you get just one in?
Got 2 bolts in on the back one. The other one's pushing through.
Oh, this guy's falling over.
This guy's falling out. Finley. I just realized I should be wearing safety glasses. It doesn't help anything.
Nope, didn't do a thing. You gotta get aggressive with it.
Maybe I just like kicking things, but that's just pretty high. I think I could though.
Hey, nice.
It's like,
I was like, I'm out. This is
my
dangerous now.
God. It's okay, bud.
I guess that's using your head.
Okay. One nut started.
So what was the key? There's the key right there.
The key was that the side pipe was so heavy it was tweaking it and making it impossible.
Yeah, because there's only 2 mounting points, the header and all the way at the back of the car.
Yeah.
Because if it was mounted here, it would just break things.
Makes sense. So it was just making it super awkward to... Did I just wipe this all over my face?
I think you're good. Just some extra makeup.
What?
Oh, you really love to hit your head on stuff. Might explain a thing or two.
Little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over here.
I'd say they're pretty freaking tight.
You're pleased with the amount that I tightened them?
Yeah.
Good. Are we done?
Well, I
Ish.
don't even want to fire it up and find out if it leaks, because if it leaks, I don't care. I'm still driving it home that way.
It's got all the bolts in it this time at
And they're
least.
tight.
They are. Yay! A job well done. Let's lower her down.
Done-ish. There's some stuff we're still going to see about.
Yeah, done-ish. So as we've mentioned, Jacob has been killing this car softly. Or maybe not softly. It's been
All gas, no brake.
more abrupt than not, I guess. But we just grabbed a leak down test. So we are going to run a little test on the engine and confirm that some of these cylinders are toast.
It's bad. So, when you're doing a leak down test on a car, you need to pull a spark plug out, and then you thread this guy in there and hook it to this gauge, which you then hook air pressure to, and it will literally tell you how much air is getting past the rings and the valves. And so, you know, if you're in the green, you're doing all right. If you're in the yellow, you probably need to look at it. If you're in the red, which is what I'm gonna be,
Your cylinder has no compression.
yep, it is useless.
Or will not hold compression, rather.
Yep. Connect this gauge up to compressed air. You'll see this guy, you know, kind of tries to find a spot. What you need to do is actually turn it to 0 by adjusting the regulator. We're close enough. We're in the ballpark here. We're just trying to figure out what's wrong with this thing. And then you hook this guy up to the adapter you put into the cylinder, and you see how much leak down you have. And I was expecting that to be in the red, but it is flat out in the green, which really confuses me. So we're gonna check cylinder number 6 now. This was cylinder number 2, which I thought was one of the dead ones. I could have 2 of my EGTs switched, and I'm actually reading the wrong cylinder right now. But cylinder number 6 I know is dead, because cylinder number 6 had all kinds of issues. So we'll check cylinder number 6 and then see if that's still in the green. I don't really know though. All right, you ready for cylinder number 6?
I am. I was so distracted by the cute puppy. Cylinder number 6.
So again, we got like, you know, a little over 10 PSI in this. This is set to 0. Let's see what, well, we forgot to spin this to the right
Yeah,
thing.
we did.
So we need to spin it before we do this or it won't tell us anything.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was some pressure, but that was really fast. Like, did you even turn it much? Okay.
Let's find out. If it's all the way to 100% leakage immediately, I'm not gonna trust that it's in the right spot.
Right.
Nope, we're in the right spot. And look, it's good too. Are we flattening lobes on the camshaft?
My goodness.
So I didn't think that was the case, but maybe we are flattening the lobes on this camshaft, and we're gonna keep losing cylinders unless I change the oil. I might just change the oil anyway because it's been a long time, but it leaks so much that you just keep adding it instead of changing this.
Yeah. So those were the 2 cylinders that you were most sketched out by.
Yeah, they're not building any heat. So I have EGTs in this thing, and that's an exhaust gas temperature probe essentially. And there's one in each runner of the exhaust on the header, so you can see how every cylinder is doing at any given moment. And I have a readout in the car that tells you. Well, cylinder number 6 has been about half cold for a month or two now. Well, it got all the way cold on this trip, and then cylinder number 2 started dropping off, got running a little colder, then it would come back, then it would run colder, and now it's dead cold too. I mean, they're running at about 140 degrees, which is probably the intake air temp. So they're doing nothing. They're just along for the ride. And now I'm wondering why after that.
And the assumption was that the compression was gone.
Yeah, I thought the exhaust valves were just so burnt that they weren't seating, and it was just allowing all the air to go past. And I guess it still could be the case when it gets hot, it does that, because this is dead cold sitting here right now. So maybe we'll fire it up and figure out what we can figure out.
Wow. Hot rods just never cease to amaze you. That's a thing.
I like being wrong because it's a learning experience. I thought I knew what was going on here, but now I'm questioning that. And so we're gonna find out. Let's just fire it up and see how it runs.
Yeah, he's putting the plugs back in. We're gonna fire it up. We're going to show you guys the EGTs and his little gauge. And it's really cool the way that system works. So it'll be cool to see that, and then we'll see how it runs, see if we still have an exhaust leak, and then make a game plan from there.
Or just drive it home without even caring. It's only 1,000 miles.
That sounds like a game plan to me, buddy. This happens to me all the time. I'm working on something in the shop, and I feel like I'm on the right track, and then Aaron walks in.
Well, Aaron's smart.
Aaron's really smart. What the heck, babe?
So he came in and said, have you checked Spark? And I have an MSD system on this car. It's been flawless. I just assume it's working. But, like you said, any part can fail.
You could have got some water in there or something.
So we got a spark plug in one of the wires that, you know, one of the cylinders that wasn't firing. We're gonna set that against the valve cover and turn the engine over and see if it sparks.
Check spark. It seems simple, but
So simple.
it could be a problem. Dang it.
You got good spark on that one.
Yep, so the fact that that cylinder's cold definitely sounds more like there's something going wrong inside the engine.
Valve cover's coming off.
I don't want to. I haven't taken it off because they're so hard to get to stop leaking. Granted, doesn't really matter.
Oh no.
This is the thought
Hornet
process.
leak?
Oh no, we could get oil on something.
I mean, come on.
That could be horrible.
Nitrous lines make it look great.
Those nitrous lines are actually pretty trick. So I know it doesn't matter, but if you actually look at these from above, they're mirror images side to side, and they're all equal length. They're all exactly 12 inches long, so no cylinder gets nitrous before another one. This set of lines and this set of lines are the exact same, just mirrored.
That's fancy.
It's fancy. It's way too fancy. That's some race car stuff for no reason on this.
It's utilizing my extension, the end of the extension that has the ability to hold a wrench. He's got sand all over his valve cover.
And
From
my intake
off-roading.
manifold.
Off-roading this mug.
So this valve cover is something Chris Hosner sent me from the Vibrolas, because they have AMCs. His wife's Instagram name is actually AMC Hornet Girl. And it's what makes this engine look so nice, even though it's actually junk. Chrome valve covers, man. That's where it's at. Ain't fit, apparently.
Ooh. Man, I see a really floppy rocker.
Yep, that's the one that's been making a whole bunch of noise.
Look! Oh my gosh, Jake! Jake! Oh my god!
That's not exactly
Look!
that
Oh
deal. What if I broke a rocker
I
stud?
think you might have. Like, there's some.
I can't freaking see it because I can't get the valve cover off.
There's something not okay there. Dude! That's not okay. Oh my god!
AMC engines are tough, I'll give them that.
This
How is that
awesome.
not making so much noise?
You just cranked it up and it didn't even sound crazy.
Isn't that bizarre?
What the?
Well, this problem either going to be really easy or really difficult based on what we just found.
Jake. This bolt is
Yeah.
just literally missing and it was chilling down there in the head.
Fixed.
Oh my god. Jake!
But what's weird is this is cylinder number 5.
Yeah.
So I don't know if my EGTs are labeled incorrectly. It's pretty possible because I did it like 3 in the morning one night. But cylinder number 6 seems fine. Cylinder number 2 seems fine.
So we're gonna put that bolt back in and just turn the engine over and see what everything looks like. Hopefully everything's good and we can just put the valve cover back on and run it as usual. It's not even like it was making crazy sounds or anything, so it's tripping us out, but it's not a cylinder that he was having weird EGT readings on.
So there could still be more problems, but at least we found something else. So it was actually maybe running on 3 instead of 4.
Weird.
The crazy thing, that valve cover hadn't been off since I built this engine 2.5 years ago. And it has never been, never given me a real issue. And that's pretty proper. I mean, the bolt wasn't where it was supposed to be inside the engine. What's the torque spec? Right and a half? Ooh.
Oh, wait a sec.
Oh, I think I know what happened. I don't think it's the bolt's fault. I think it's the rocker arm's fault. I think the rocker arm's busted out in the bottom. Let's find
Like
out.
the seat?
Yeah. So we just tightened that, and it's still all kind of loose. So I'm willing to
So
bet
that bolt is tight right now?
yeah, I'm willing to bet that rocker arm is busted in the bottom of it. Or something else happened, but that's all I can think of right now, so let's find out. This is some kind of stupid. But this is part of working on cars. You figure things out as you go.
Oh man. All right, inspect the rocker.
I'm kind of scared to look at it.
Situation.
Look at him on the TV.
Normal-ish.
It looks normal. So this is the messed up guy. Come here.
What about the lifter? Could the lifter have collapsed?
Yeah, and that's what I thought it was initially, but the fact that it's acting like that even when it's bolted down is weird. I mean, I guess it does have some play in it, so yeah, lifters.
But that much? I mean, it was floppy.
The push rod looks fine. Compare it to another push rod, I mean, I could see that it's fine based on the ends. Same length, they're both straight, not bent. This is the one out of the messed up hole. We'll put this guy back so we don't put him over on the wrong spot. And I'm gonna look down in there and see if I can see anything. The die.
I see our lifter down in there.
It looks normal.
It does.
But it's still got the cup for the push rod to sit in. Even if it's collapsed, it'll still do
Yeah.
something.
Seem like it's tightening down better? No. That is jacked.
Your tool's all oily, I apologize.
I don't care. This will be fun, Aaron. Come look at this. We inspected the rocker, and it seems that the rocker looks normal.
I'm
We
thinking
don't
it's the
see-
actual stanchion is worn down. And that's what it seems like, but.
Ah, that could be. That the bolt bottoms out, and then it's
Yep.
still...
So we need to shim it.
So the stand where the rocker...
But here's the deal: as it wears down, it would actually tighten your rocker.
Yeah, but the way these bolt down is the problem. So it doesn't, this guy,
Pizza.
see this is what tightens down. This guy's loose. So it was doing this after this loosened up because it was more of a gap,
Oh, got it.
I think.
Hope that valve looks pretty beat up too.
Yep. It's not that bad though. I expected much worse.
It'll run for a long time like that.
I fully expected it to drop a valve with the noise it was making on this road trip. But it wasn't a bad noise. Like it was just I could hear it hitting the valve over and over again.
Still got a chance. Trip's not over.
Come on, man. Don't wish that evil on me.
You still got a chance.
All right, so I think if we get some washers and space it up, it might tighten down. A little janky, but it might work. I'm gonna try it.
A little janky.
This whole car is a little janky.
Yeah, I was gonna say these threads are.
I mean, I've run worse. That's not
There's
good.
a few of these that are just quitters.
This whole car's been a quitter on this trip. I don't know what the Hornet's doing. I think it's ready for its Hemi.
These definitely look different. Like this is worn down,
Yep.
and it's fresh looking metal versus this that's just like, standard.
So you know what the solution is for that?
That's what's that? Washers? Oh my gosh!
I think one's enough. But
Like,
it'll work. It's not that crazy.
okay.
I've done stupider. I think. I don't know. Maybe not.
So the washer's there and it's still floppy.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it's the actual lifter now. I'm just gonna leave that one off. There's really nothing I can do about it unless I got a longer push rod. Yeah, so the fact that the stanchion's hurt isn't doing anything. What I just did actually made it worse, thinking about it.
Down?
Moved the whole rocker arm up is the thing, so I made it less tight.
Okay, yeah.
I just thought maybe the way these rockers attached, they needed to sit on something a certain way. But apparently not. So, moral of the story is we're leaving one rocker arm off.
Just deleting a cylinder.
Cylinder deactivation, the old school way.
Well, now that the Hornet has the 5-cylinder mod,
Yeah.
we're gonna hit the key.
Yeah, I'm turning it over with no spark though, so it's not going to try to run. We're just going to watch the valve train and see if everything's moving like it's supposed to, minus the one
It's
rocker
not
that's
gonna
sitting
move like
on a
it's
toolbox over there. Yeah, this is supposed to be in your under your valve cover, not out here. But
It wasn't doing its job prior to this, so it's crazy. He was driving across the country and it didn't even sound weird.
it literally sounded like a collapsed lifter. Like I ran this thing hot in the past, and I knew that, so I figured one of the lifters just collapsed. Did not expect a rocker arm to be laying in in under the valve cover with no bolt in it.
God, that was funny. I'm trying to take the valve cover off and I knock it a little bit and I'm like, what the heck? This rocker is freaking flopping around up in here. Dang.
I've seen some stuff.
That's crazy.
That's a new one.
That's crazy. Spinner.
You ready?
Ready.
Sparking?
I especially like this coil that's just like throwing spark like crazy.
It's supposed to do that.
I know, it's awesome.
Man, that thing's a freaking flamethrower.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
nothing anywhere near it. Everything moving?
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Look good to me too. Mine is the one that's missing.
Right, of course. We're missing one dancer in the party, but
I think that cam lobe gave up. The lifter wouldn't be collapsed so much that it's that loose. Either way,
it's crazy.
I'm gonna run it on 5 because why not?
Why not?
So let's put the valve cover back on and get ready to leave at some point.
Five-cylinder Hornet.
I don't even know if it's 5. I don't know what they think because it's got 2 EGTs that aren't reading well.
Yeah, let's crank it up and look at those EGTs.
Yeah. So get in the passenger seat.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me take a picture of this real quick. Emily filming a vlog over here. I'm filming a story. We're gonna fire this thing up, see if it even runs. That doesn't sound good.
I never hear the Hornet do that.
That's not normal.
It's usually like, let's go. Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna go wide open.
There it is.
Oh, come on, of course it was gonna run. Quiet too, the exhaust is.
No exhaust leaks.
So you can see this. This must be cylinder number 5, which obviously is labeled wrong because that says EGT2. It is staying dead cold. This is cylinder number 6. You see how it stays cold no matter what happens? It doesn't get hot. You see, these are already getting up to temperature. This guy is a quitter. This guy's mainly a quitter. The rest of them will all get up around 1300, 1400 degrees Fahrenheit while cruising down the road. And this allows me to monitor all that, and then I have another screen where I can monitor a few other things. I have oil pressure, I have altitude air density, 1 EGT, the coolant temp, and RPM, all on this little tiny thing. It's a little too fancy for this car, but it's kind of cool to actually see what your engine's doing without an ECU in the car. It's an old carbureted engine, and I still have all this. Pretty trick.
It's really cool.
Ah, she's fine.
She's ready to go.
Yep. Where to next?
Going for a drive?
Maybe. We'll find out.
Definitely have some valve train noise.
It sounds about the same.
But that's how it sounded before?
Literally never heard a noise, never heard a sudden pop that sudden move.
It's always just ticked like this?
Always ticks. Still ticks, even without that in there.
Let's go drive it.
That's all you can do. Oh, exhaust it.
Exhaust.
Hi, Garfield.
Freaking cruises. Oh, we get to go watch the sunset. I think we might have broken a motor mount when it was jiggling around from all this not running on a bunch of cylinders. It's fine.
It's fine.
Still runs.
I love the way your tack moves with the shifter.
Whoever says that zip ties are not a permanent mounting solution is doing it wrong, because those have been on there for like 3.5 years and I haven't moved them.
Perfectly efficient.
It still cruises lean, even with cylinders dead. Yeah, it's sunset. So good.
That's nice.
Does it feel like we're running on 4 cylinders?
No.
Luxurious.
Well, the dang thing runs good.
It's a little off, but not bad considering what's going on under
Heck,
there.
dude, it'll take you down the road.
I think it would still do a burnout.
Texas to Georgia. Oh.
Okay. Nope.
Oh, and it died.
Doesn't do burnouts anymore.
The car's like, no, sir. No, sir.
Still runs though. What the heck?
Oh my God, you're nuts. try a burnout.
I was gonna try a burnout.
Poor
It said
Hornet.
no.
The poor Hornet.
I've never been nice in this car. It gets me where I want to go every time.
We made it back. Back home in the Hornet.
Moral of the story here is get out and drive your stuff, and even if you break it really badly, chances are you'll be able to patch it together enough to get home. Hopefully. Guess I'm not home yet.
A really fun day wrenching, and I'm gonna try and whip this episode out and have it out really soon. Be sure to follow Jacob on social media. We'll see y'all
Thanks
next
for the
time.
place to wrench.
Yeah.
That was good. Better than the side of the road.
Absolutely. We'll see y'all next time.